Imagine waking up and feeling the warm morning sunlight streaming through your window, landing right on your face. It feels like the sun is right there inside your room with you. But you also know the sun is a massive star, 93 million miles away in deep space. So is the sun in your room, or is it in space? The answer, strangely enough, is both. This everyday physical paradox actually mirrors one of the oldest questions in human history. Are we humans entirely separate from our Creator, or are somehow the exact same thing? For centuries, ancient philosophers argued intensely over this. One group believed that the human soul and God are completely identical, that there is absolutely no difference between you and the divine. Another group argued the opposite. They believed the soul and God are separate entities, divided forever with a massive, uncrossable distance between them. If you were an ordinary person trying to figure out your place in the universe, these two viewpoints left you with a lot of confusion about who you really are. Seeing ourselves as exactly the same as God doesn't match our daily struggles, but seeing ourselves as totally disconnected feels empty. Neither view paints the full picture of our reality. There was a need for a way to reconcile the two. In the 16th century, a spiritual teacher named Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered a resolution to this debate, later codified by philosopher Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami organized these teachings into a definitive set of texts called the Six Sandarbhas. The very first book in that collection looks deeply into the nature of reality and establishes a unified concept. That concept is a Sanskrit phrase, Achintya, Bheda, Abheda. The first part, Achintya, describes a reality beyond our logical reach. The rest, Bheda and Abheda, refers to the tension between difference and oneness. We are simultaneously one with our source, yet distinct from it. To see how we can be the same but different, let's look back at our sunlight metaphor. We find oneness in quality. A single ray is made of the exact same energy as the sun, but we find a clear difference in quantity. The sun possesses infinite power to light the solar system, while a single ray carries only a partial expression. This maps directly to the human soul, which the texts call the Jiva. You and I share the spiritual qualities of the Creator, things like consciousness and bliss, but we are tiny, whereas the Creator is infinite. Because our individual power is so small, we rely entirely on the source to maintain our brilliance. Just as a sunbeam cannot exist without the sun, the soul cannot exist without its source. This difference in non-difference creates a bridge between those two old extremes. We are intimately, intrinsically linked to the divine, sharing its exact nature, while still maintaining our own unique, individual existence. This brings up a natural question. If our souls are made of the exact same divine bliss as the Creator, why do we experience feelings of darkness, emptiness, and suffering? The answer lies in that difference in size. Because our individual power is tiny, we are vulnerable to being blocked or covered. The infinite sun itself can never be covered, but a single ray easily can be. This covering is called Maya, the material illusion. Think of Maya like a heavy, dark cloud passing between the sun and earth. Caught in that shadow, we forget our radiant source, identifying completely with the physical world, feeling isolated and alone. To move that cloud and restore the light, the texts point to a practice called bhakti, or pure devotion. Bhakti is the active, loving realization of our constitutional position, the understanding that we are eternal, serving fragments of that supreme light. When we actively engage in that loving relationship, the illusion breaks. Our inherent spiritual brilliance is restored simply by reconnecting to our source. You are not a random, isolated speck floating through a cold universe. You are an eternal spark of the divine. Reawakening that relationship allows us to see ourselves as we truly are. If this perspective shifted how you see yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to learn more.